Hello, it's Gameli, RevitTools.com. This is the tutorial of creating a fire sprinkler system. This video is number 4 and we are going to continue. Autodesk Revit MEP 2012. So so far we have created already half of the wet system. Right now you don't see anything because it's I'm in level 1, and right here is floor plan, level 2 fire protection. Now I didn't show how to create the floor plan mechanical fire protection, so let's create one floor plan. Right now it is 1/8 of an inch. Let's create another one. View, floor plan, and then if you see, it might not show me the level I'm working because it says do not duplicate existing views. So if I remove this mark, it shows me more. So the basic level 1 and level 2 and plenum 2. So I want the basic level 2. Before I didn't see it. When I uncheck, I see it. So level 2. So it's showing me the possibility of which levels I could create at this scale, even if I already create one at the same scale. That's what it means when you remove the check mark right here. So okay, so duplicate level 2 again. So automatically create this floor plan, but it goes to this question mark section instead of going to fire protection because still don't know what category I want. If I go to the fire protection, you will notice that it says right here discipline mechanical and subdiscipline fire protection. Now let's go back to the brand new. Notice that it's in the question mark category. So far it knows it's mechanical because I'm using Revit mechanical and Revit MEP. And now if I was working on Revit architecture, it will go straight to Revit architecture, this category. So now let's look for the second category, which is subcategory and subdiscipline, and let's put fire protection. Let's see this. I'm going to check this one if it's using subdiscipline fire protection. So I want to use the same, so it organized. I put it in plumbing, so it went to plumbing right here. This is the one I used it. So let's put it in fire protection, subdiscipline, fire protection. For some reason I didn't see this on the tab. Now because I put it there, now it's here, right here, and they call it level 2 fire protection, or they just have the number. So now I could rename it. I could right click and rename it, or I could rename it here. Notice the underline. I could rename it view name, here, view name. So it's the same as right click or rename it here. So level 2 fire protection, and I apply, yes. Okay. Oh, I should say no, it was asking me, do you want a name like that, those levels in elevation? I'm gonna open one in elevation. It was asking me if level 2 will be called now fire protection, and let me move it to the side so you can see what I was. So that was a mistake. I shouldn't say yes, I should say no. So I'm going to remove from my level mark that name. Now it's asking me again the same question. Do you want to rename now the floor plan you create? I say no. That's what I should have answered. Sometimes it's good in the tutorial I do a mistake, so you get to see what kind of troubleshooting. Alright, so I have the fire protection level 2. Now notice that I don't see any of the sprinklers like in this view I do. The difference is if I look on my view range, the one is visible is on level 2, cut section at 4, and the tab is from above, and the depth view is associate level 2. So view range, this is should say from level above, and it has 0, so it's higher. Right now we are below associate level 0. Now I see it. So before my view was from below the sprinkler, so I couldn't see it, and I don't want to see it in reflected ceiling. I want to see it in floor plan. All right. So this is now what we need to see. Okay, now we are going to incorporate these fire sprinklers from the other half of the building that we didn't do that before. And to do that, first, this is the main pipe. This is the main line. So what I'm gonna do, if I touch this, I will see a plus sign. Sometimes I prefer to see it in 3D. If I go detail mode here, I see it in 3D. And if I touch the connector, I see the plus sign here. And if you go to medium view or coarse detail, you see it in 2D lines. Alright, so I highlight the T connector and I click on the plus sign, so give me one more connector, as you see. Alright, so now from there my main line will continue and branches will distribute here to connect all these other sprinkler head. Now you are going to select either one pipe or one sprinkler head or one of these connectors of this half that we already finished. When we select that, notice that when it's not selected, I don't have one of these tabs highlighted. So when I select something, doesn't matter what I select, but from the existing system, we have this option that show up piping system. If I click on that, I get another window here. And notice what happened here. It highlights all the systems that exist. And it actually show me which system are we talking about. Sometimes one element could have two systems. Let's say it's actually an equipment that it passes through hot water and cold water, so it will give me both options here, and I should choose here. In this case, all this system has only one option, so there is no more to choose. Alright, so now you could hit edit system, and when you are in this edit mode, you get other options. You could add more elements to the system or remove, which in this case will be sprinkler heads, add or remove. You could select equipment if you have an equipment that you could choose, or you could change properties. You could change the name of the system if you want, not necessarily to another system, but you could rename it. That's what I mean. And maybe you could change some of these properties. That in this case the symbology we use is standard symbology. I'm not gonna change nothing here. And material by category, but you could also actually start going more more in detail and choose a material, the appropriate material, but I'm not gonna choose material. Okay, so I wanna hit add because I want to add more sprinklers, and I could do just a window. And notice that even if I pass to where I already had included those sprinklers, my window covered also those. It doesn't matter. Now it's giving me all those new ones. Oh, I didn't tell you to pay attention, but if you rewind the tutorial, you will see the number of elements used to be maybe 32. Now it changed to 67 because I select all those. Now I don't want this to be part of the system because this will be part of the dry system, so I'm gonna remove it. Look how it goes gray as soon as I remove it. And if I remember over here, I think we're good. That's the only one I think I should. No, actually it was here for the dry system, so I'm going to put it back. I was wrong. This will be part of the wet system, so I'm gonna add it again. So click add. So it's good. Like I said, sometimes a mistake is some kind of exercise to troubleshooting. So it's selected, so I want to finish adding. I don't want to add more, so finish editing the system. Now it's already part of the system. If I touch one of these and I hit tab, notice that it's part of the system, part of the same system. However, it doesn't has piping. And if you go over here, I'm going to show disciplines only piping. Okay, remember before we have so many sprinkler heads unassigned here because it didn't have a system. Now after we assign it to the same system, number one, now all those heads are right here, and the total, like I said, when you touch this system 3 times and highlight it and hit tab 3 times, and you select the whole system, then you could see the total of this. It was in the previous window that I showed, but over here also it will say somewhere in this window. Or I don't want to, when I have to hit it because I already said, but I hit this. I'm gonna do it again because it looks like I'm lying, but not. Okay, so I selected, so I have to do this. I was going to use this tool, but I have to show you what I said. So when you hit edit again, it tells you the number, which is this total. But is the command, the previous command we did. That's why I was trying to avoid to repeat it, but I need it because it was looking like I was lying. Anyways, so again, I could touch one of these and I get the same possibility, the previous command or this new command. So I could say generate piping, and because it knows it comes from this main, because I started by selecting this group of existing piping, so it knows that's the same main I'm gonna use. And again, you could swap from these 3 different options, and I wanna choose the network, and you could swap here. I wanna use option 3. Now when you are in option, you could change your edit layout, and you could make some adjustment to your pipes. I don't have a imagination how could I modify this, but as you know, you touch one segment, you could drag it, the whole segment, or you could drag the connection obviously you have to make sense what you do, or you could drag the end of the connector and create like a secondary small branch. So obviously those are the tools. You do what is appropriate. In this case, what I show is not even appropriate, so it doesn't make sense to make changes apparently. Like this, they are not aligned for some reason, so it creates this funky condition here. So maybe at some point you would align first those sprinklers, so it makes more sense like one whole run. But this is just right now, just I'm teaching how to use the tool, but at some point you have experience designing as a mechanical engineer, so you will make your judgment. At this point it's just important to show you how to use the tools. So finish layout, and it will create all these pipes. Okay, so it tells me somewhere is an open connection. So for some reason I didn't pay attention what happened, but I'm gonna connect these two because that was my original idea. Put this as a main, so I open the connector, I right click, draw a pipe. I could hit the key tab, the long key tab. So when you hit tab, it grabs the height of this connector. At this point, because I'm using only one height, so it might not be necessary, but get used to hit tab before you start doing a pipe, so it grabs the height of your connector where you begin your pipe. Okay, so I did connect it because it was telling me it's open, because I opened that T. Now it's closed, and now this is a main and the other one are small branches, and that means probably I didn't need this pipe right here because it's coming from this small branch. So I could delete that piece of pipe and delete this piece of pipe. It was just connecting to that, and now over here I'm not gonna delete the pipe. I'm going to remove this connector. Oh, I have to put a cap, but because if I close this connector, oh, that's fine. I thought it was getting rid of the sprinkler, but sometimes you put a cap if it's at the end. But in this case, because at the end is a sprinkler, an elbow is good, and I close the extra connector which make it as a T. Because I leave it at T, is open here, so you need either a cap or remove one connector and make it elbow. Alright, now the whole system is closed. So now if you put your mouse on tab, don't click, and hit the small tab 3 times, and then you click, it tells you what is connected. So right here I have an error. So this piece is disconnected somehow. So what I wanna do, I'm going to delete the elbow, and it needs a branch. It needs a branch to connect this. So right click, draw a pipe. Somehow I need to connect this, but it's not going to let me under this sprinkler, because maybe that is not the same type as this. This type is the type you could go above, and this was like an end type of sprinkler. So if I really wanted to connect, probably I would need to connect it to one of the other branches that I would need to open like this. Remember, this is not a good design, it's just trying to show some tools. So okay, so draw 5, I hit the long tab from the keyboard, click, click, click. I just connect this somehow. I didn't want to put too much time in the video, but this sprinkler didn't let me connect it like passing through, because this is at the end, is not the same type as this. So now let's take a look on 3D. I'm going to hide the building, so I could say hide, and I want to put in detail so we see in 3D, and shaded view. So this is the connection I was doing. I'm going to put thin lines. This is what I just added, and it wasn't allowing me to connect on this one because it wasn't, I was thinking it was this type that you could continue and connect. This is already a different type of sprinkler for some reason, and I didn't want to put too much time to investigate what happened, but it should be one of this kind or one of this kind. So obviously we could work on this and replace it and put one of those, but I think for the lesson is good enough right now. And let's see what is next. So I think I'm going to stop this as a short video. Revitunes.com, and it was number 2, Revit MEP 2012. And in the next video will be creating the fire protection dry system. This one was the wet system. Alright, so Revitunes.com.